and welcome to my channel. I am Tony Ann, and this is the intro to my Overcoming Grief series. So if you are grieving something, someone, situation, a moment, then you should stick around for this series, okay? Okay, so how do you deal with grief? How do you handle it? Get past it or cope with it? What steps do you take? How do you endure the absence of those who have played a fundamental part in your life? Because I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm okay, but I'm not okay. I'm not. I'm good on the surface. I'm good. You see me? I'm smiling. I'm laughing. But deep down, I'm still hurting. I am. Grief hits everyone differently, and as a result, everyone responds to it differently. So how I respond to it won't be the same way you respond to it. Nevertheless, despite those differences, there's one thing that we all have in common when it comes to grief, and that's the fact that grief wounds us deeply. It wounds us deeply. And if left unchecked, we risk the chance of becoming autoimmune to ourselves. And as a result of us becoming autoimmune, then, we start to break down from the inside. Now, what is grief? Or how do you define grief? You can't get to the root of it, or you can't get past it without first knowing what it is, or what is the general idea. Something, a definition to help you identify what you're feeling. According to the Oxford Languages Dictionary, grief is deep sorrow, especially sorrow that's caused by someone's death. Now, grief is not only a response to someone's death. As a matter of fact, see me, I have my notes. So as a matter of fact, Beyond the Blue, it's a website, defines grief as a natural response to loss, any kind of loss. Whether it be a loved one, a relationship, pregnancy, a pet, a job, or a way of life. However, with regards to this particular video, or with regards to the first few videos in this series, it will be regarding the loss of a loved one or a dear friend, someone you valued. Now, the people you love immensely become fundamental to you. They become a part of the foundation of who you are. So when you lose fundamental people, you are shaken to the core, and it's in this shaking that grief presents itself. For some of us, it's crippling and or somewhat stunting to our future and success, mainly if it's left unchecked. And this is what's happening to me to some degree. Every time I feel like I can start moving forward, I'm swallowed up by grief again. Then everything that I've been working on and progressing with gets pushed to the side and forgotten. Let's take, for example, my YouTube channel. Now, grief isn't the only reason why I haven't been 100% consistent with my YouTube channel or the starting up of my YouTube channel. However, it has played a major part of why the channel is still not fully up. It has. Just to give some background and some context as to what grief I'm experiencing. After several years of wanting to move abroad and teach English in a foreign country, I finally had the opportunity to do it, and I took the opportunity. And at the beginning of 2020, what started out to be one of the best years of my life, ended up being one of the worst years of my life. So I moved to South Korea in mid-February of 2020, and then April 1st of 2020, only about a month and a half after I moved here, my mom passed. My mom passed, and it's been about 2 years since then. At the beginning of 2020, I was finding the time to put videos out, but when my mom passed, I couldn't. I couldn't for a while. I couldn't do anything. I would try to make videos, but I wouldn't put them out because I couldn't. And weeks after weeks, while I was trying to pick myself back up and I would record videos, I just couldn't. And I found that as I'm making these videos and editing it, that somewhere in between that process, I would have a moment where I'm just overcome by grief and I just push everything aside and just let the grief have its moment, have its way. But then it became a cycle. Starting a project, recording, editing, breakdown, not putting the video out. And it wasn't until recently that I realized that a big part of the reason why I haven't been putting out much content in the past 2 years is because I keep getting overwhelmed by grief and I don't want to continue in this cycle. And I don't think I'm the only one. Maybe everyone doesn't have the same situation, but I think there are other people who in their own situation are being overwhelmed by grief and want to succeed, but the grief is in some way or form holding them back. And so, in order for me to actually start doing the things that I say that I was going to do, the things that I've started doing, I have to handle and I have to deal with my grief. I want to take it day by day and I want to share, and if I can, help just one other person who's dealing with grief, because I don't think I'm the only one. There's no way I'm the only one. There's no way I'm the only one. So, after sitting down and realizing this cycle and the fact that my grief is partially holding me back, I had the question of how should I overcome my grief? What can I do? Or what methods or ways can I use to overcome my grief? Now, if you are also interested in overcoming your grief or taking this journey with me, then I invite you to stay tuned for the next video that will be out next week. And we will tackle the first method together. If this video was in some way, shape, or form encouraging, then drop a comment and let me know what's one thing that you're grieving over that you want to get past. If it's grief with a family member, or a grief with a situation, or grief with a material object, whatever it is, I would really like to know. So until next time, stay safe everyone, and you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Okay, bye.